What's going on, CALIVEGANs, and welcome into another episode of the CALIVEGAN podcast, the only podcast, calisthenics podcast, dedicated to vegan men who want to build muscle so they become better role model for the vegan movement. And also the cool thing about this podcast is this is based on what you want me to talk about during these podcasts. It's a Q&A based podcast. So please, as you're joining in, drop some questions, all right? Even if you're leaving right now, even if you're just passing by, please help me create content, drop some questions so we can get the party started. Today is pool day. First exercise is going to be one arm pull up. No sound, someone says that's a lie. Why are you lying? I don't like you. Why would you lie? There's so many people that try to troll the podcast like that. So please guys, as you're joining in, drop some questions. So after I've done my set, we can get the party started. Was good enough. Are you guys dropping questions? Make sure that you drop questions as you're joining in. Right. So, I see you guys not being very helpful here. Drop some questions. Anyway, I'm just coming back from Amsterdam, from the One Day Month. You probably guys seen my content. I shared a lot about what was happening there. And I actually my content kind of changed during this month and was only focused on that animal rights action. And the reason why it was focused on that, because that's all I did during this period. And so my content reflected my reality. And it was amazing. It was so inspiring. I've learned so much and I've become such a more effective and committed activist. And I think that one of the most inspiring things that happens there is the actual impact that we have been able to make for the animals during these 31 days event. Thank you for dropping questions, by the way, guys. Please keep that coming so we don't finish early today and we have content and things to talk about. So keep dropping the questions. So personally, I have had around 260 conversations. That's a huge number. And 90 of these people I've talked to declared to go vegan. 90 people, I think that's amazing. I mean, I never actually tracked my conversations before. I started to do it from the One Day Month because I've learned a lot. I was close to the founders and the organizers of Anonymous for the Voiceless and this event. And so this was one of the little things that have improved in my activism. But it was amazing. So the impact we have done is great. So you might want to help the organization. Go to onedaymonth.com and make a donation. They're amazing. The most professional and most effective way of doing street vegan outreach, 100% for sure. And then, yeah, and I'm very motivated to bring all I've learned and the same commitment to my chapter here in Malaga, both to teach the other activists how to be effective, as well as doing longer cubes. Thanks for dropping the questions, guys. I'll do my sets and I'll get into the questions. If you're joining, please drop the questions. Even if you're leaving, drop some questions so we keep this Q&A podcast going. All right, so 3 felt good. So I'm going to repeat 3. Nice. Okay, that was clean. We're happy with that. We're going to try and do 4 in the last set. Let's get into the questions. As you're joining in, drop some questions, The success of the CALIVEGAN podcast is on you. I can't believe there's always someone saying no sound to troll me. Like, you're a bad person. You must be a non-vegan animal abuser. So Chris Alexandro 98, what did you eat on the day of your fight? So the idea when I had the fight was to feel light and full of energy. So easy, absorbable carbohydrates and not too much food. I think, yeah, that's the best way to go. So basically I had a lot of fruit before the fight, and then for breakfast I had some oats, right? But during the day I try to focus on fruit. What are the most effective exercises for building muscle mass? Good question. So now we're doing, so if you are on my page, I will assume that you're interested in calisthenics, right? You don't only want to do bodybuilding in itself. Your intention is to train, to build muscle, but you also want to do it in a way that is more stimulating, and that calisthenics sounds like a more fun way to work out to you, right? Because if I would have to give you the best exercises to build muscle, it would be some bodybuilding kind of workout, because when you're using machines, when you're using weight, when you're laying on a bench, sitting on a chair, you are able to isolate the muscle better. So, bodybuilding workouts are the best indeed to build muscle. But now, can you build muscle with other ways that are maybe less effective but different? Absolutely. So, and with calisthenics, kind of the same thing apply. The simpler is the exercise, the easier is going to be, simpler is the right word. So the simpler is the exercise and the movement pattern, the easier it's going to be to progressive overload over time. So with calisthenics, I can easily say that if I have to name 2 upper body exercises to build muscle, it's going to be dips and pull-ups. You can easily add weight. So like if you want the easiest way to progressive overload within calisthenics training, is going to be weighted dips and weighted pull-ups, and you can do like other things as secondary. For me right now, I'm focusing on 1-arm pull-up, as you've seen, for my pull, and for the push muscle, I'm focusing on planche, which is not necessarily the best for building muscle. Is what you call specific strength. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. So we're going to try and do 4. I think I should be good to do that. No, we keep it to 3. Something that I'm noticing training at home within the doorway is that I am cheating the rotation. So a difficult part of the one arm pull-up is actually controlling your body as you're hanging with only one arm and not rotate and control that rotation as you pull. So as I'm here, I'm always touching with my arms the door, and so I'm kind of cheating. Okay, so it's not necessarily the most specific way to train the one arm pull-up. But, I'm still developing strength, and anyway, I am pretty far from actually performing a one arm pull-up still, so it's fine. What is the best diet or nutritional plan to support muscle building? You're the same guy that told me that the sound is off. What's going on? Anyway, the best, so in my opinion, there is a huge noise around nutrition and building muscle, and it's confusing and unnecessary. So you're going to build muscle with different approaches to nutrition. I don't necessarily know which one is the best, neither I care. What I do focus on when it comes to my nutrition though is optimizing the health outcome that I might get from my nutrition. Now I'm not perfect, I'm not necessarily the health guru. I had ecstasy this weekend and I drank alcohol, okay, so I'm not perfect. Be better than me, right? This is another thing I think. The fact that I am not perfect doesn't mean that you cannot be better than me, and I cannot teach you how to be better than me. However, in my opinion, the best thing to do that is in line with this value of wanting to optimize your health with your diet is going to be increasing your fruit intake, increasing the amount of whole food in your diet, fruit and vegetables. Fruit and vegetables should be the priority, and then you can add also, you should get good fats from nuts and seeds daily, and then you can increase your caloric intake adding some legumes and some grains to your diet. Also, when it comes to fruits, it's clear that anywhere in the world a diet that is high in fruit is going to probably be a little bit more expensive. It doesn't have to necessarily for everyone. Like often it's just some budgeting thing that you have to do. But for the most part, like fruit is more expensive than rice and legumes. So, but yeah, so if it's a budgeting thing, you can focus a little bit more on cereals and legumes, but still do your best to have more fruit inside of your diet. Choose the one that you can afford, right? Now, what you should be focusing on to make sure that you're getting stronger and you build muscle is your caloric intake. Now, you can build muscle. You don't need to be in a caloric surplus like many say. You can be a caloric maintenance and even in a caloric deficit, but you won't control over your calories because you might eat in a too big of a caloric deficit, and that's not going to be good. You're going to feel tired and you're likely not going to be able to get stronger during the workout. So 500 caloric deficit is good. I wouldn't go over that. There is no rush. Even if you want to lose fat, right, is consistency over time. Slow progress is better than rushed progress. All right, let's go. I definitely wasted time there. Okay. So these are called back-off sets. It's a way of decreasing the intensity and allowing you to do more volume within the workout, which is more difficult to do if you stay at high intensity. But if you're a beginner, you probably don't need back-off sets. Okay, I made a mistake. I think I did an extra one with my right. Do you know if there is similar activism like you do, but in Sweden? I want to help. The way to find out is going to cubeoftruth.com, which is the website of Anonymous for the Voiceless. And there is a map there. You should be clicking join us, and it's going to get you to a page when you can actually see if there are chapters close to you, and if there aren't, you can become an organizer and they will guide you into doing it in an effective way, training you properly so you understand how to do activism, and you can start your own activist group. Ryan, do you suggest jumping straight into a vegan diet or transition in steps so you don't fail? So I'll translate the question for you. Do you suggest just having compassion to animals and stop exploiting them to death? Or should I slowly stop exploit animals, kill a little bit more animals, make them suffer because I am too weak to eat something different? Hopefully, by just rephrasing the thing, you have your own answer, right? And just to give you my own experience, when I realized what happens to animals, I just went vegan. There was no process. I made a decision that I wasn't going to touch animal products anymore because I don't want to be a piece of shit that exploit animals when it's not even needed. I am now trying not to use the side too much and starting the rotation from complete hang. It does feel more difficult. Woohoo! Next, front lever work. What should I do if I hit a plateau in muscle growth? So, I don't think that's a good question to ask. This is the problem with the information out there when it comes to fitness and muscle building. They make it seem like there are magic trick. Like they make it seem like muscle growth itself is something that you can directly control, and you cannot. The only thing that you can truly control is your progression in strength, right? What you cannot control is how your muscle respond to your progression in strength. But the reality is the only way to build muscle is getting stronger. Is not making changes to your diet, is not a caloric surplus, is not mind-muscle connection or slow negative, even though all these things that might be part of the journey, but the only thing that you should be looking at. So instead of asking yourself or telling yourself you hit a plateau when it comes to muscle growth, look at your progression in strength. Like, how are your lifts doing? Are they going up? Are you getting stronger? Because if you are, you might just have bad genetics, and that's why you're not building much muscle, or you're being impatient, right? And you think that muscle just grow one day to another, and that's not the case. Or you're not making progress in strength. Perhaps your workout plan doesn't make sense at all. You don't even know what progressive overload means. And if that's the case, this is where you should be. This is the reason why you're not building muscle, because your workout plan doesn't make sense. You're not getting stronger over time, and therefore you're not stimulating the muscle properly to allow for growth. Personal experience, guys, when it comes to my journey into muscle growth, I have never, my goal in the gym, my priority was always getting stronger, pushing hard. And I wanted to lift heavier, in the beginning of my training. And that's why I managed to build muscle. But I never necessarily worried about my muscle growth. I just enjoyed it as a result of me getting stronger and pushing hard at the gym, That's the only thing that you should be focusing on. All right, it's time. Let's see what we should be doing. 4 and 2. Let's try. That felt very good. I think we should be able to maintain this cleanness for more sets. I'm sweaty. I'm very sweaty. Amal Buble is asking, "Hi Stefano, my training split is pull, push, rest, legs plus front lever, handstand push-up, rest." That's a good training split. Something that personally I'm doing lately because I want to focus on the progression in strength that I'm having in planche and one arm pull-up. Is that my first exercise is always strength focused, 3 to 5 repetitions. and it's always the variation of the one arm pull up and a variation of planche hold. So I have 2 opportunities during the week to make progress. Okay, so the rest of your workout can change a little bit, but you know, your push and pull could have, again, front lever and handstand push up as first exercise. That's going to allow you to make faster progress in those exercises, if that's something that makes sense to you and interests you. But sometimes soreness from the push day affects my front lever workout. You know, you can but you have one day off and then you do legs and front lever, you said. Let's see. Push pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you told me the order of 6 days. So you have 7 days in a week. So you can actually add a rest day if you feel like it's affecting your progress there. I do actually 1 extra rest day. I do push, pull, legs, rest, and then I do upper body. So I do a push, pull together. You can try that too. So you allow for an extra rest day. And another thing that you can do is alternating your push and pull. So this way, sometimes you have more rest for your push, sometimes you have more rest for your pull. Did I say it right? Sometimes you have more rest for your push, some other time you have more rest for your pull. Fuck, I keep forgetting what I say first. Welcome to the ADHD world. Another very satisfying set. Thank you for all your work for the voiceless animals in Germany. We talk about your projects and how important it is educating people. So I'm famous in Germany, good stuff. I should really get hyper focused on learning German then. What time is it? 12:30. Good time. Again, we have Amal Buble saying, and I injured my front delts recently in pull-ups warm-up for my front lever workout. Well, injuries happen, man. Just make sure that you recover. You don't need to stop training. Do the exercises that don't make your injury worse. Sorry you're injured. It's fucking annoying to get injured, isn't it? But yeah, you don't have to stop. However, it's very strange that you got injured warming up for pull-ups. So I don't know what's your level exactly, but pull-ups are not necessarily a warm-up exercise because they are hard, you know. Like pull-ups are a warm-up exercise if you can do at least 15 pull-ups. I would say that it's better to do something easier if you can do 15 pull-ups in a row. You should be able to do 20 pull-ups in a row. If that's where you are at right now, then it's okay to do pull-ups as a warm-up exercise. But otherwise, that might be the reason why you got injured, because pull-ups aren't the right choice when it comes to warming up. Could you recommend some foundational exercises or routine that will help me build strength and progress safely? So your question is very expensive, and actually the best answer to that question is going to be download my free guide from the link in bio. Okay, you will have a guidance on how to organize your nutrition. You will have guidance in how to organize your training plan, as well as how to progress it over time. And you also have video tutorials attached to most of the exercises. All right, so that's the best thing that you can do. Do we have more questions? Yes. Well, that felt good. So Caleb Marney is asking, might be silly questions, but need help. Can you get all amino acids on a plant-based diet? That's not a simply silly question. That's just a simple question with a simple answer. And yes, you can. Don't worry. Long live our animals, says hemp seeds complete protein. I really do not like that answer. And that's a stupid way to look at nutrition, even though there is a lot of nutritionists and experts out there having fun around, oh yeah, this is the perfect food, the perfect amino acid profile. You don't need that. You just need good food, good healthy food, whole plant food, prioritize fruit, and you're good. You do not need to eat hemp seeds. If you like hemp seeds, go for hemp seeds. I don't have hemp seeds. Do I look amino acids deficient? I don't think so. What's next? Maybe there's nothing next. In the vegan circle, you're a hero to us and you give us motivation. God bless you and your team. Let's go. Thank you. Tips for progressing from a keeping. Nice question. Love it. All right, let's do my other set. Actually, 50 seconds for marketing. If you are a vegan man who wants to build muscle so you can become a better role model for veganism, and people look at you and think of themselves they're stupid to even think that as a vegan you're protein deficient, I can help you with my CALIVEGAN program. I already worked with almost 300 vegan men. Build muscle with calisthenics, with a diet that doesn't stress about protein, but focuses on health and whole plant food and a high fruit intake. You will have access to me all the time, and we'll do check-ins. If you want help to build muscles as a vegan man with calisthenics, which you can do at home, just drop me a DM saying CALIVEGAN, and we'll have a talk about your situation, your goals, and see if we can work together. Again, go to my DMs, send me the word CALIVEGAN.
Vale, muy bien. Buen día.
Okay, we have done a pretty extra rep of the advanced tuck position. All right, happy about that. Now going to the question. Any tips for progressing from a keeping, small keep, okay? So a keeping is when you use your knees to go on top of the bar. We don't like that, not even a small one. Because if you train like that, you're likely going to get stuck there because you keep cheating. So, you know, that you can do two things really. One is doing your muscle up, but with a band, okay? So you make sure that the intensity is slightly lower. You can focusing on the strict form, okay? So because the keep is just a sign that the strict muscle up is too hard, right? So in order to develop the strict muscle up, you have to practice the strict form. And you cannot do it if you're keeping to muscle up. So you have to use a band, make it easier, and do it with strict form. Or I think a better solution would be doing high pull-ups. You can do it without a band or with a band, as long as they are going at least here, because if you pull here, right, the muscle up really is already done, okay? I remember there was a period in which I wasn't training muscle up at all. I was only doing high pull-ups, which by the way, my high pull-up was about here. And every time I would do muscle ups, they came perfect and easy. So I think high pull-up is even better than training than training the muscle up itself. Or anyway, you can mix things and interchange between the two exercises, but the high pull-up is enough to develop muscle up strength and allowing you to do a strict muscle up. The other thing, I don't know how you're training, but this also might apply to you. You want to stay within a rep range that allows you to work on strength. So stay below 5 reps. Even 3, even only, you could do 2 reps, but you don't have to struggle too much to do those 2 reps. They need to feel like you can prioritize technique, be super explosive in performing the muscle up. So maybe you're able to do muscle ups without assistance, but at low volume. You can try that and do like 2 reps, super focusing on the technique and not keeping at all, and build sets with those. And if you cannot do that, you know, again, just use a band to assist yourself. But still keep the volume low so you focus on strength. Okay, so that was already the last set. So we're doing pull-ups now. We had 4 sets of 13 last time. So my workout was a little bit over the place during my trip to Amsterdam, so I will go for 12, see how it feels. Okay. 12. Hi from Germany, hello from Malaga, Spain. I don't know if you answered this, but because it cut out, can you get all the amino acid on a plant-based diet? Yes. Maybe you lost my answer because I kept it simple. You know, you don't have to go over complicate. Just eat food, man. Just eat food. All right, so seems that we're done with the questions. If you're on YouTube, make sure that you like, subscribe, leave a comment. What was the part that you liked the most about these podcasts? If you have any questions, drop them. We might cover them in the next episode. And most importantly, if you want to participate live and ask the questions live, come to my Instagram, Stefano Vegan Calisthenics. These lives are on Monday at 12 p.m. Central European. Thank you very much for the good answer. I'm currently using light bands to get the strict form. Might mix in some high pull-ups too. Yeah. Well, I can give you even, kind of more suggestions when it comes to your progression towards the strict muscle up. So let's say you're doing your light band muscle ups, okay, and you find your starting point, it might be 3 sets of 3 repetitions. The goal here is increasing the volume before you increase the intensity. Okay, often people make this mistake that they just want to kind of go to the more advanced variation. Okay, yeah, I can do the muscle ups with the light band, let's do it without. No, you want to build up a good amount of volume with that band at that intensity before you increase the intensity, okay? So what I do with me and my clients, we get it up to 3 sets of 5 repetitions over time. The way you can do from 3 sets of 3 to 3 sets of 3 to 3 sets of 5, it can be as easy as increasing the repetition directly and keeping the sets down to 3. Or if you feel like you cannot do that, you can also add sets to your workout. Do 4 sets of 3, 5 sets of 3, and then try to do 3 sets of 4. This way you can build up to 3 sets of 5 repetitions and you're ready to move forward. No more questions. I'm just going to keep it as it is and finish the workout. I'm actually going to close the live. Thank you guys. Thank you to everyone that has asked questions. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, all the good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.